it's Ashley and Catie with Peeling Back the Truth, episode 19. We got to close out the year somehow, right?
We had to close out this year because we did take a little hiatus.
Happens to the best of us when we're busy.
Yes, we've been very busy this year. 2023 has been quite a year for us. We've done so many things, so many shows, so many trainings, and it's been a real ride. Many places. So
a wild one. So yes, Catie and I were just talking about how much Aerolase has educated, I mean, honestly, all over the world now, right?
all over the world.
So I myself am one of, how many trainers do we have now, Catie?
We have 8 in the US.
8 in the US. So I'm one of 8 now in the US while we are growing quickly. And with that, I have been at, I would say about 45, between 45 trainings and shows throughout the year. And we have other trainers that do way more than me because I'm also in clinic every week. But I'd say that that's a pretty great number to end on. Catie, what do you think?
I say that's a really great number. And just imagine that these other trainers, Ashley also works in clinic. So some of my trainers only do training. So
They do more.
I can't imagine the number. It's definitely in the high hundreds or more.
We are very blessed that everybody has got to experience Aerolase now. And we're getting extremely busy, which I am so fortunate for. I love working with this company so much, as you know, and you being my amazing boss. So thank you.
Yes, it has been quite a year for Aerolase. That is 100% true. We are just growing so rapidly. And I love the fact that we're getting the attention that the devices deserve because they
100%.
truly are, the best devices I've ever worked with. And we made it here very authentically, not by putting out billboards, or we made it here on
buses.
Yeah, that's not how we got where we are. We have real customers in real time on Instagram, all over, promoting Aerolase because they want to, because they love it. And they're getting such great results in their practice and they are so satisfied. And this we knew all along, but now everybody's starting to really see it.
And I feel very fortunate that our the med spa that I work for, Skin Boss Med Spa, has 2 Neos in 1 Era, and we'll see what the future holds. But it has been an amazing experience having them because they have built the foundation of our practice. So I'm very appreciative for that as well. I do want to kind of go over today, if you're cool with it, Catie, about things that were hot this year and what's coming into next year and what we think is going to be happening. I don't know about you, but I say this year was a huge year of combination therapy and starting that gateway.
Yes.
In our clinic as well, and in all over the country that I've been training, even other practices. And that's the beauty of Aerolase. It can be combined with anything out there, and you can't say that about other laser companies.
No, you can't. And it's such a great way to get you could start an entire practice if you just have the Neo, and you can build from there. And we've talked about this in the past, how a lot of people starting med spas or getting into medical aesthetics, they think they have to have everything to start. And really, it's like starting small and growing from there is so much smarter. And when you have a Neo, makes it so easy to do that because you can offer so many services. But not just can you offer the laser service, you can combine it with anything else that you want to combine it with. Chemical peels, microneedle, so there's just no need for anything else. And I love the fact that someone like your practice, which is a very big medical aesthetic practice, you use it all the time when you really have you could have had the opportunity to use anything you want. And that's what you choose. We have gotten some new accounts, that are very, prestigious accounts. They're very big in this industry who have purchased our devices. So, and they purchased it because they researched it and they knew that they wanted it, because of the way that the device works. So it's not just like, a lot of times I feel like, practices purchase things because they're popular or they heard about them when they didn't really do their work. And I think both you and I really push here is no matter what end of this you're on, whether you're the consumer or you're the practitioner, you have to educate yourself.
Always.
Because there is not a lot of mandating in this industry, so we have to mandate for ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, because just yesterday I was in a different state training, and the medical director and the nurse practitioner that was there with me was asking like different questions about the state I live in, reciprocity, and they were like, really, there's no major foundational footprint of what you can do and can't do in some states. So with that being said, and this is more so for the consumer, and I know we always like beat this into people's heads when we're on here, but we do it, I think, Catie, because we want people to understand you have to do your education. If you're a state that has a very loose reciprocity with licensing and holdings of, having a medical director, not having a medical director, having somebody that's not in the office, and you're just paying them a chunk of money to say they have your practice, but you have no real medical people inside of it, you have to do your research to know who's doing it and who's not doing it. Because again, you and I have talked about this, and I have so much respect for, nurse practitioners, nurses, CRNAs, anybody that wants to go out and do the injectable world, but a weekend class is not going to get you there. You can't just say, hey, I'm done after a weekend and I'm ready to roll. Like I feel that that's doing them a disservice. Like you need more experience under your belt. And it's the same when you're operating lasers. Just
Absolutely.
because we come and train you as a whole as Aerolase, we do the best that we can in that day training. And I have to say, I feel very fortunate that I'm part of one of 8 that is super passionate about what we do. And I think that, we have to think about that, Catie, what we do and how you have set that footprint with Aerolase. You only hire people that are really passionate about things because we care so much. And I think that because we do care so much, we want to really express to people when we're in training, be very authentic of what's really out there, what's really working, how this is going to work for them.
How they get their best results, why,
right.
Home care is so important, why following, the protocol is so important. It's not nothing is just a one and done.
Well, and I can't believe, even in the training yesterday, how many places I go to, and I know obviously our other trainers are going even more than I am because they're there a lot more. How much people that we train will say, oh yeah, I like this, you here for this amount of time this day versus another company's person here this amount of time is night and day difference. Because one, they know who we are. They have our email or our phone number. The second we leave them, that's not goodbye forever. We want to know how they're doing. We want to know that they're succeeding. And all these other companies, I feel, do so many things as a disservice because they're like, here's your trainer. First time you're going to meet him, never going to see him again. See you later. And then they're done. And they have all these questions. And I think that that's amazing.
Ongoing education. It's not just that one time training. Like,
right.
We talk to our accounts ongoing and we help them with things that come up. We can give them the information, but we can't give them our experience that they have to get on their own. And it takes time. It's a constant learning experience.
I think that it's great to even acknowledge and announce that like you guys have a clinical dashboard at Terrytown headquarters. When practitioners or whoever has a laser, they literally can go on there and ask any questions and it's answered. You're not waiting on the phone on hold. Somebody's going to get back hold of you as soon as they can. And I don't know any other company that really does that. And I can honestly say that because we have a multitude of devices and lasers in our office and we don't get that customer service. And that's why I think it's really important for people to know these things.
I mean, I remember like when I was in clinic and if I was using a particular device and something went wrong, there was no one to call, no one to contact.
And 99% of the time, if you did have that trainer's information and then you call that number or you email them, chances are they're not even there anymore because the turnover is insane within these companies right now. And I think we should talk about that too, that this industry is really evolving and changing. And I truly feel in the new year, there's going to be huge differences with companies and people really getting satisfactory results with customer service within these companies. And I think that we're going to see a lot of changes with certain companies liquidating and certain companies still standing. And I think it's very important to talk about customer service within Aerolase. And
and the ones that are going to be standing are the ones that really are doing it right, who are doing the consultation, who are getting their patients set up for success, not just saying, come in, do a treatment, and then I'll see you another time. That is not going to work. They're never going to get the result that they expect or that we can provide doing things that way. And the provider has to set the tone for that.
And I think it's also important to tell everybody listening and watching or whatever you're doing, we do not have sponsorship. Catie and I do this because we love to do this. And with that said, because we talk heavily on Airlays, yes, we are affiliated with Airlays in one aspect. We both work within the company. I work not directly like Catie, but I am a trainer for Airlays. Catie works directly for the company. I just want everybody to understand, Catie, that we're not talking about this because we have a sponsorship with Airlays. We talk about this because we love talking about this. And with that, I think it's good to tell our viewers and our wonderful friends and guests that we're going to be here a lot more because Catie and I, we just talked recently and we're like, what makes us happy?
Dedicate the time to do our podcast because
what makes us happy? This is what makes us happy.
People, Ashlee, have said to me, how come you guys don't have any more podcasts? I got to all the episodes, you need a new one. And it's not that we don't want to be on here doing this. It's just that we are all over the place at shows and we're doing, so much stuff with Airlays, trying to get the company and to get it as successful as possible. We're educating all over the place. And, we need to take that hour, sit down and do our podcast. It's not that much time. Right.
And with you saying that too, I'm just going to give her a shout out. Trisha, we love you. Tammy. Kind of inside joke with us, but we have a new, indirect, freelance woman named I almost said
Tammy. I don't know what her
name is. Your name is Trisha, but we call you Tammy. And she gave me the best compliment yesterday, Catie. She was like, oh my gosh, because she lives a little bit further away from Terrytown. And when she goes back and forth, she puts our podcast on. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you recommended me doing this. I'm learning so much from this. I love listening to you and Catie. And she doesn't have to. Nobody has to listen to. So she's like, no, it's so amazing that I can't wait for the next one. So as we told everybody, this is our 19th episode. We plan to do a lot more in the new year. We're making a stance. We have to. This is what fills our cup. This is what makes us happy.
Yep. Keep everybody current as to what's happening and what they need, to do. And help everybody that's what we really want, is help everyone be successful. Nobody is anybody's competition. We're all here doing, yes, the same thing, but just we want everyone to be good and giving, because
we thrive off community out there
getting treatments and getting hurt, getting burned.
And we thrive off of community over competition every day. We want people to learn from us, grow from us, help us learn and grow. I learn every day. I know you do too, Catie. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this new year and more to happen with our podcast because I love it and I know you love it. And it makes my heart happy when people say, when are you going to do more? Come on, get back on there.
Yep. So we are going to. And I wanted to say, this has been happening to me.
I know. It's because we're going crazy with the holidays
but we just really wanted to take this podcast, this 19th podcast, and close out, close out 2023 and, make it like everyone does a New Year's resolution. Well, that can be our New Year's resolution. We're going to dedicate that time to have our podcast and to really educate on what's current, what's needed to be known, and, why it's important. And that being said, I think that we can talk a little bit about what was so hot in 2023. And we know combination treatments were everything. And that's the other thing that we love about Airlays Neo, is that you can combine it with all that you do. And when you do combination treatments, it's do you have to do them? No, but it can get you to your end result faster, more effectively, with less.
Combination is so hot right now though, Catie, because people don't want to wait. They want results now. They don't want it to hurt. They want to see that wow factor. I think people are impatient, which is fine. I get impatient too. And you and I know on a clinical endpoint, you're going to get a better result with combination. Not
Totally.
to say that you're not going to get a phenomenal result with a Neo on its own or an Era on its own or them together, but it's even more beneficial when you add a peel in, or you're doing micropen, or like microneedling with it, or whatever it might be, an enzyme, LED light, whatever it is.
And there's not just one combination. There's so many varieties of things you can combine with Neo. You can do pretty much whatever you want to do. And it really just depends on the condition you're treating and the patient you're treating, how they're responding to treatment. And you can just go crazy. Like there's so many things you can do. And because Neo's so gentle, it doesn't change what you do after. You can do whatever you want after.
So I want to just hear me out for a minute. Everybody is having this buzzword of like your own biome, your microbiome, blah, 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 blah. That's a big buzzword right now. It's going to be really hot in 2024 as well. And with that being said, this is one laser with your microbiome. If your biome is off in your body, the bacteria, everything in conjunction with that, Neo can help with that. Literally, it helps heal from the inside out. And people need to understand that, because traditional 1064s cannot do that. Other lasers create a much more dramatic controlled injury where we're really healing the skin. A lot of people don't know that, but Neo can literally be wound healing to a skin, an open wound. And people don't get that. I just went back to an account the other day that I had went to last year, and they were like, oh my gosh, this protocol was in the book and I never even looked at it. And it was our wound healing protocol. So with that buzzword of microbiome, biome that people are going to be hearing in the new year even more, I think it's good for them to know that our Neo Elite device with Aerolase, which is the 1064 microsecond YAG, is very great at helping heal that natural biome and making sure your skin is healed with all the bacteria, the funguses in the skin, all of those things. Because of that 650 microsecond pulse duration and how that works. And I think that's important to know, because I don't know any other lasers that are going to do healing like that.
There's not. And it truly works. That's, it truly works. And it's like there's so many features, it's like almost endless.
Well, and with that said, I think that there'll be probably in the new year maybe some other approved clearances, hopefully.
So too. Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away, because I know you'll be able to give it away soon enough, but there's going to be even more clearances, and we do off-label all the time, and it works great for different things.
Yes. And we're always doing new improvements in our education area. So, if you have an Aerolase device, there's so many resources for you to use.
Right.
Educationally, so you can, learn on your own and not, have to depend on somebody else that you can actually take. And I think that's a big thing, like taking the initiative to teach yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can find good information, but you just have to know where it's coming from.
I think with you saying that, I think another important thing to say with that in conjunction too is, as a practitioner out there listening, you can't wait as a practitioner for someone to come to you with all the information. You have to dig deep and do yourself justice and educating yourself. Not one person is going to educate you on everything you need to know in this community, in this arena of aesthetics. You have to educate yourself, because I will say, on a practitioner level, there are so many people out there that think that they're going to know everything with one day of training on one laser or one peel trainer or whatever it may be. Just like the injectables, one day is not enough. You have to dive deep. Catie and I talk about this all the time.
Work. You have to.
Our hobby is to research skincare. Our hobby, like, yes, people, Catie and I are crazy.
Yes, that is a hobby.
For fun, this is what we do. In fact, I made a promise to myself when I leave for my vacation over Christmas break with my family, that I'm not going to read just skincare books. I'm going to read a normal person book, because I swear that's all we do.
That's all I do. Yeah. I'm always researching and like looking at new things, and do they make sense? Because a lot of things come out in this industry that are hot and popular, but they really aren't great. And people just assume they're great because everyone's saying they are. But if you look at the science behind things and how things work, that's where your answer is. Your answer is in the science. The answer is in the why.
and how does it work? How and why?
Mm-hmm.
With that, Catie, I think it's funny, and we should talk about this for a second too. Just because somebody comes out, brand comes out with the latest, greatest technology, this, and this, chances are 99% of the time, it is technology that's been there. They just slapped a different name on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to find some conceivable way to make that be something new and hot.
The next hot thing. Mm-hmm.
I cannot stress this enough. When practitioners call and they want to know more about Aerolase, we are set apart with that microsecond technology.
We are.
No one else is set apart with that.
And everyone's trying to reinvent the wheel with these other devices. But at the end of the day, like IPL is a perfect example. BBL comes out, but like really they're the same thing pretty much, you know.
In essence, yes. And there's so many different IPL and BBL devices. It's their take on it, their customized name of it. Just like with microneedling. Microneedling is microneedling. Yes, there's different microneedling radio frequency devices out there. And yes, this one might do something better because of X, Y, and Z versus this, but at the end of the day, it's microneedling radio frequency.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's not one way to put heat into the dermis of our skin. There's not one way. There's many ways, you know, so it's just understanding the science behind the treatment. So 2 different treatments could be doing pretty much the same thing to the skin as far as the skin knows, even though they're doing it in a different way.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good for our practitioners to know. And I think it's good for our consumers to know.
And sometimes it takes you humbling yourself, you know, maybe you are an expert at one thing, but this is new to you. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to educate more or to reach out to people or go to shows, go here, go there, learn as much as possible, to, you know, watch webinars. Aerolase has so many educational webinars for people to watch. And it just baffles my mind when people don't take advantage of that because it's free education.
Absolutely. And that takes us back to what I said earlier, how people just think they're going to learn everything in one day and you're not.
No.
And recently I was asked a question from somebody that is, you know, ready to change careers in her 50s, and she wants to change her career. She wants to do this. And I said to her, this industry right now it's cutthroat for the fact of it's getting oversaturated with just mediocreness. You have to stand out. You have to educate yourself because there is a lot of med spas going up, or doctors are opening up things, and dermatologists are opening up little medi spas and things like that. And the saturation is there, and you have to stand out somehow, some way, educate yourself, make sure you're hustling hard, because Catie and I didn't get here overnight.
No.
We worked like hard, true grit and a lot of tears. and that's where we're at. You just can't decide it in 5 minutes. It's a long process. I've been doing this for almost 19 years and I still learn every day. And Catie, you've been doing this just as long. So
yeah, it's so true. Like, and it's really, when you look at it in every profession, it's like that. You know, people don't just come out of school and become experts in their class.
Right.
You know, or in their field. So why would this be any different? Just because there's not mandated licenses or things that telling you have to do this, you have to do that, doesn't mean that's a free pass to just do whatever you want to do and not educate it. You know, because
exactly.
That's so important.
I think it's really and I know we won't give it all away, but I think it's really great to talk about how, you know, in the new year, Aerolase is doing a lot of amazing shows, and I want to just tell everybody how excited I am that I have the honor to go to Paris with Catie this year in January at the end. I think we'll do one more podcast before that. So
yeah, definitely.
We can talk maybe a little bit more about that then, but
yeah, maybe we can do a podcast with the Eiffel Tower in the background.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
And so, this show, the MCAS show, is so exciting because it's people from all over the world in medical aesthetics and worldwide.
I think it's pretty incredible to talk about how they are building us a specific booth with like the right glass. So nobody has to wear like their glasses out on the showroom floor. And Catie and I I was like describing it the other day. I was like, it's basically like Catie and I are going to be hamsters inside of a cage.
Yeah,
And it's funny, the investors and owners of our company at Skin Boss, she's like, I hope there's ventilation in there.
I know. I hope we can breathe.
So yes, I'm really, really excited. Yeah, I'm honored and I'm excited. And
that will be like our kickoff of 2024. And we will definitely bring you some exciting things from the show, and maybe
lots of fun shows other than that too.
And hopefully do a little podcast while we're there and bring you some good new information. But we really just wanted to wrap up 2023 and let you know we're coming in hot.
Yes. And with that being said, people can check us out on Peeling Back the Truth on Instagram. And why don't we make sure we take lots of fun photos when we're there, maybe some videos on the showroom floor.
Post some more photos on our Insta. Yes. Ashlee and I are not that. You're better. I'm not the greatest, but I need to get better. Because people enjoy, seeing different things, and I get it. I just am not always great at it. Or I leave somewhere and say, oh, I should have took a picture.
Well, I mean, if we're being very transparent here, Catie, I'm working right now on my Skin Boss Ashlee Instagram end of the year post of like all my clips with trainings and Airlays and in clinic at Skin Boss. And it's going to take me like 3 hours to figure that out. So for everybody that goes to Skin Boss Ashlee and you see that clip, it's going to take me like 3 hours to do it because I have, a lot to go through, and I'm not the quickest at social media. So Catie and I are really trying.
It's not easy. It's not a matter, because you have a lot of people on Instagram and posting things that are really exciting and fun and fancy. Well, a picture's not good.
You just get Catie and I.
We just
Here we are.
That's about the best we can do, but we're going to get better.
We promise we will.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of if there's other things to kind of, do you want to do some truths and myths?
Yeah, let's do a couple. Let's do the truth. Let's try to now the biggest truth of 2023 and the biggest myth of 2020.
Okay. The biggest myth. You have to spend $200+ on a product that is really, really expensive to actually work.
Myth, total myth. Yes. I can name multiple products, medical grade skincare that you can purchase under $100 that will last you about 6 months. That are phenomenal.
I got another one. Sorry.
Money doesn't make it better. The price tag does not make it better. It's the science.
As much as we turn to our amazing dermatologist for a lot of things, it is for me a myth that you absolutely have to be on an antibiotic orally or topically to clear your acne.
I'm 100% in agreement with that.
And sometimes it does help, but you don't have to.
Sometimes people's acne, the infection is so far gone that it does help pull it in quicker and get it under control, but it's not necessary in all cases. Absolutely not.
I have a truth on that scenario. Over 50% of acneic skin is due to gut health. That's a truth.
That is truth. Yes, for sure. And water consumption is a huge factor when it comes to acneic skin and how it can help tremendously. That's a definite truth. But I would say for me, the biggest truth of 2023 is I don't know what is, but
we have Catieisms and Ashleeisms we make up with.
Is that Airlace has really came on the scene, and people are really learning and knowing how amazing our device is, and we're really seeing it just explode everywhere.
I can't believe our social media, or I say our, like, because I am part of Airlace, so I can say that, right? Like, I love our social media presence in Airlace. I think it's great.
I do too. Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, it is a truth that Airlace loves everybody posting their great before and amazings, because Airlace, whenever I post a before and amazing on Skin Boss Ashlee, they always share it and tag it, and I love that community over competition, how we all grow together and we can all utilize each other's things. And I think that's awesome. And I don't know another company that really does that.
No, I agree. Absolutely agree with you.
Do we have another one? I'm trying to think. Do we need another myth? it is a myth that you have to have multiple devices to get to your endpoint you need. It's a myth.
Definite myth. Definite myth.
Oh, what else? It is a truth that in this industry, you will learn something new, even when you are an expert.
Oh, I mean, I learn new things all the time, every day. And I just, feel like if I don't stay open to learning, I'm hurting myself.
You won't have growth or change. If you don't have growth, you don't have change. If you don't have change, you don't have growth.
That is probably the biggest thing. Always stay open. Always stay open to learn.
Also, again, community over competition. Grow with people and leaders within this realm and scope of practice.
Yes.
It is great to have really great communication and strong bonds and strengths. I feel very fortunate through shows, Catie, that we have met, and not just through shows, through trainings. We have met such amazing people.
Don't look at others as competition. Look at them as a way to grow.
100%. And I think that is something I feel in 2024, when there's a lot of stir up in this industry, that people are going to realize you got to grow together. You can't just compete and think you're better than, bigger than, badder than. You got to grow together.
Yes,
because we are what makes this foundation
together, and
it's the foundation.
More we support each other, the better.
I'm just thinking of all the things this year. It's been a wild, crazy, amazing ride.
It has, and it was a great year, and 2024 is going to be even better.
It's going to be great. It's going to be hot, and we are definitely doing some things in Paris for you guys. No matter how tired we are after our super long days, we're doing it. I'll just videotape Catie falling asleep in her plate at dinner. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we will. We'll make like a bloopers, right?
Oh, and we'll put it on we'll put it on Peeling Back the Truth on Instagram. I think that would be amazing. So for all of you on Instagram, we are prevalent-ish on Peeling Back the Truth. If you go to Instagram on Peeling Back the Truth, add us as a friend, and you will also see in our link tree all of our podcasts connected to there.
Right there.
I'm also on Skin Boss Ashlee, ASHLEE, and then Catie, yours is Catie
Cutler Clinical, I think.
Thank you. I was like, I thought it was Catie Cutler Clinical. My gosh. Catie with a C, Cutler with a C, Clinical with a C. Catie Cutler Clinical. That's a good one. I like that ring. So yes,
and look for our new additions in 2024.
Some great new additions.
It's going to be fun, and we're so happy to be back.
We're excited to take you on our wild journey with us, and thank you as always to all of our viewers, fans, listeners. We love you. We love doing this, and I'm really excited for 2024. So everybody have wonderful holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays.